I don't like when the government or whoever, these corrupt TV channels try to cancel somebody. I'm like, I want to hear from him now.
Yeah.
And so he was the number one guy. Now they don't want anybody to hear his voice.
And everybody wants to hear his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bad move on their part. But I think it was a business move. If I had to guess, someone that was one of their sponsors or someone that owns a piece was very upset with his positions, that he was taking some very controversial positions about a lot of things, including the intelligence agencies. The fucking guy out and out said CIA killed Kennedy on Fox News.
Who, he did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson out and out said the CIA.
See, I trust that guy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why, but I trust him. I want to hear from him. And it's
I trust him more than I trust Don Lemon.
Yeah.
I don't know if, I don't know him. I don't know what he's actually like. But Ranella loved having him on the show. He's like people that were like ideologically opposed to him who worked with Ranella. When they did the media, they're like, fuck, I hate to say it, I really like the guy. Tulsi
said he's a great guy. He goes, you guys would get along.
I bet you would.
And so get
that motherfucker to run up the mountain.
It's just frustrating. I don't know. I'm just like so frustrated. So
yeah.
I know you hate the politics, but like
I do.
Selfishly, I want to hear from these people. And I'm like,
well, I think
you're so good at fucking getting to the bottom of everything. I'm like, selfishly, I want you to, even though I know you don't want to, and I get it. And it's your show. Obviously, you'll do what you want.
I'd rather talk about cats hitting dicks with Theo Vaughn.
I know. I mean, that's fun to listen to. Also, I
know what you're saying.
I'm concerned about society, and like, I'm concerned.
I am too. And I'm concerned that it seems like there's the most transparent power struggle that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because the power struggle is even in regards to like popular Democrats. It's not even about popularity anymore. It used to be like, who's the most popular Democrat? And that popular Democrat, they would run against a Republican. That seemed to be how it always went. And I'm sure there was a lot of fucking funny business going on.
Yeah.
But if someone was uniquely popular, they would essentially, they win out in the debates, and you remember all those days.
Yeah,
there's debates, and you like the fucking power would shift, and it looked like this guy was going to win, but then she came along, and then there was always like that. And now they don't want to do that anymore. They don't even want to have debates, which seems insane. It seems insane that we tolerate that they just want to hold on to the position like, nope, we're not going to have any sort of primary debates. Isn't that a part of what we've always done? Shouldn't you watch ideas battle it out against the other ideas? Shouldn't you see how someone stands up to the pressure of these national discussions about very important issues that are affecting us all?
I want to know how people weather that storm. That's the whole point to it.
That's the whole point to it. And the whole point is to give people a chance to watch these people express themselves and decide for yourself.
Yeah, intelligently.
And if they're in cahoots where the media is only putting out a negative version of this one person, and you got people like Hillary Clinton that are saying that Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian asset, and crazy talk. Crazy talk.
I know.
But all that stuff, if that's what gets out, and then you don't let that person talk and you won't let that person debate, and that's what happened with Tulsi after the whole thing with Kamala Harris.
I know.
Like, we're done with you.
That's
enough.
We did that 50 for the Fallen over in Hawaii with Tulsi, and we walked by, and she's like, oh, I live right there in that house. It's like the most normal house in the normal neighborhood. I'm like, no wonder I like her.
She's a normal person.
The most normal person ever, but just like a strong leader.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to me, it was beautiful.
It is. She's an amazing person, and unfairly maligned because of
and then
ideological like tribes that people lump themselves in.
Yeah.
If you're on this side, like, she's demonized, and you hear people talk about her at parties, and you hear people talk about her at places.
Yeah.
You have to kind of go along with it. You have to agree with it.
And you saying that that Hillary was saying she was a Russian asset,
it's insane.
Just made me think that, and I'm like, oh my God, how crazy is that?
It's insane to say, and it's also insane that people didn't push back against it. People weren't furious about it. It's a crazy thing to say. A person who served overseas in a medical unit twice and like developed that white streak in her hair while she was there just from the stress of treating fallen soldiers. It's fucked up. And it's this weird world that we live in, you know. And I think things go in cycles, and I think part of the cycle is the recognition of how fucked up things are now, where new people have to come along that aren't fucked up, and that these people then get the will of the people behind them. And if there's enough power and there's enough influence and there's enough votes, there's enough people that just overwhelmingly believe things, then the powers that be have to play ball with this new person. And hopefully they don't kill that guy like they killed his uncle and killed his brother, or killed his father rather.
Well, and I'm feeling like, I'll just tell you, I feel like when I used to go see my grandma, I used to want to try to get out of there, and she used to keep bringing up things so I didn't leave. That's how I feel like right now with you, because I feel like we've been talking forever, and I keep bringing up the shit. So I'm trying not to like lock you guys in here.
It's okay.
But she said one thing, you know, when we were talking, is like, it just gives perspective to what she stands for. But she said when she was serving overseas and she would leave the base, there was a sign. I don't know if she said this on your podcast, but she'd leave the base and there's a sign that said, "Is today the day?" I'm pretty sure it was something like that. "Is today the day?" And that's serving over there, wondering, is today the day you're not coming back?
Yeah.
You know, because that's a very real thing. But the fact that she volunteers to do that, gave up, you know, she had a political seat, I think, at that time, even in Hawaii, and to go serve and then face like what our troops face over there, fighting for a greater purpose, and seeing that as today the day, it's like, that's the type of person I think should be in politics.
Yeah, that, or a person who really doesn't want the job.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
fucking Elon Musk type character.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's just very smart, who's like, enough is enough. This is what needs to be done. You know, some genius billionaire type character who really understands the system and can adequately relay that message to people. So that's the problem with being a president. You can't just be great at these ideas. You also have to have a certain amount of charisma. There's a certain amount of appeal, which is crazy because Biden won, right? But there's a certain amount of, but he won because they didn't want Trump in.
Mm-hmm.
It's real clear there.
Yeah.
No one was real pumped about
No,
Biden.
he's an anti-Trump.
Yeah, it's an anti-Trump. It was anyone but Trump. That was what that vote was. And the crazy thing is that's like more than Trump. It's like more than the country wanted anyone but. Like very few people were excited about that choice, because maybe some people in the beginning thought it would be like Obama take two. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it would be more reasonable, and then I think that illusion that dissolved fairly quickly. So here we are in this weird place where it doesn't look good. There's international conflict with Russia. There's all these war hawks that are calling for, you know, more escalation.
The warmongers making money off
There's
it.
people dismissing Trump's idea that he could solve it.
Yeah.
There's there's a lot of weirdness going on in the world.